So that time period, just to bring it back to the point, was really a time period where there was a lot of soul searching going on. I did want to know what was the truth. I quickly came to the conclusion Christianity wasn't the truth. I just thought, like, I mean, who believes this stuff? Like, as a child, I really honestly thought, I watched a few videos from Ahmadiyyat. After the third or fourth debate, I was totally convinced. And I saw all these pastors and priests, they couldn't even justify the Trinity. They could, like, the basic arguments. But I very quickly just threw that and said, I'm not going to be a Christian, you know? Atheism never appealed to me. I always knew there was a God, but my question was, how do I prove that Prophet Muhammad was a true prophet? That was a question I had. And so I went through it and I looked at the Quran with a very, very, very critical eye for about 3 years. And I think a lot of the fluency that I have in responding to a lot of shubuhat comes from that time period of looking and researching. Because I actually did the research for myself. I didn't do the research for people. And then when the time came and I saw people, young people like me, who are doing the same kind of soul searching, I almost feel like it's an obligation to give them how I felt of relief when I found the answers myself to that. So I started investigating the Quran again, like looking at the tafsir and this and that. And I realized that there's an answer to every single question and shubha that people have. But then I started collating it from my own knowledge and stuff like that. And I became passionate, to be honest. When around 17 or 18, I became religious. I became very religious compared to my peers in school. I was praying. I was, really taking interest in the Quran. A lot of them were not doing any of that. So I became one of the most religious guys in that sense. And it was a school which was it was kind of a rough school, to be honest with you, in central London. A lot of troubles happened there and stuff like that, people getting hurt and whatever. And it was in that area, yes. And I never engaged in gang violence or anything like this. I never engaged in that, but it was very close to me. Like I saw it right in front of me, do you know what I mean? And I was speaking to these kinds of people and I was trying to make them religious, and I got my driving license when I was 17 years old. A lot of them, I would drive them around and I say, I'm not going to let you pay for petrol, but just let me read this book to you. This book of Seerah, for example. And I had the small book of Seerah and I had a small book of some of the miracles of Islam and stuff like that. A lot of them became Muslim. So I started doing dawah very early on. And then that's when I realized that, if I have an ability here and I have a passion, then when you add ability and passion, then you get results. And that's why and how I got into the dawah.